day and welcome to Crystal Church. We are busy with a series called Stepping into Love with Reverend Hendricks. You don't want to miss not one episode of this series. So stay tuned, stay in touch. Let's check out Stepping into Love. Check this out.
The title of my sermon here this morning is simply, You Value What You Love. I think we can say that. We value what you love. Let me get to the key verse of this morning, Hebrews 6 verse 10. It says, God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown him as you have helped his people and continue to support them. Now, I will do an exegesis at a later stage around this word. But let me start off by saying you cannot separate value, love, and sacrifice from one another. Meaning, whenever you speak about love, value will be in the sentence. Whenever you speak about love, sacrifice will be in the sentence. You sacrifice for what you love. Let me give you a typical example about parents, for instance. A parent will get up early when it's still dark, and some parents will catch 3 or 4 taxis to their workplace. And they will work long hours, and they will come home late and still clean the house. And some will cook, and some will do things that's needed as parents do towards their children. But they are doing that for their children because they love them. Is there any witness here? So the sacrifice will be to get up so early. The sacrifice will be that long working hours. The sacrifice is to pay for that extra swimming lesson here and there, and to make sure your child plays tennis here and there, or your child is doing drama or anything outside the square room of a classroom. But you sacrifice to do more for your children. Some parents sacrifice private schools for their children. Others don't have everything, but the mere fact that they love their kids shows that they are prepared to sacrifice. Now here it is, because they value their children. So you cannot separate value, sacrifice, and love from one another. I receive a car, not that I receive it within the will of my dad, but somebody in our family received a car in the will. It's an old Toyota Cressida 1979 station wagon. And after the death of my dad, the person received the car. And one day, me and my wife were visiting with the family, and this car, I treasure that car so much because that car was my honeymoon car. But it was my dad's car. But there was something special about the car. I value the car. And then visiting them, the car was now standing outside. The engine didn't run, and they used the car as storage. Old buckets and brooms. And I look at the seats, and it was ripped and ugly. The dashboard had more than one crack in it. It was like, wow. It hurt me so much to just look at the condition and see the condition of this Cressida. I made an offer to the person. I said, you know what, I did not receive this car in the world, but I'm prepared to pay for it. How much you want? The person made this price. I paid for the car. I managed to bring it back home. And I send it into a classic cars, that's doing cars. It's already almost 3 years, and I still don't have the car. The reason for that is because the parts you need to source. You go to Toyota, you don't find a simple sleeve that you use within the brake system. Sometimes they have to rebuild it. Sometimes you go on the side, you seek for it. I remember I phoned Glisson in New York. I said, I tracked this on eBay. Can you please go and buy it for me? I'll give you the money. And he brought in the taillights of this car. Because I love this car, and because I value this car, I bought this car, and I now sacrifice to pay for restoring this car to its original state. Is it easy? No. Is it expensive? Yes. Is it affordable? No. It's beyond your means. But you put these three in line: sacrifice, love, and sacrifice, love, and value. The love of a mother whose child is in jail, and the love of a mother whose child is a rapist, and the love of a mother whose child is a hijacker, and the love of a mother whose child is on drugs, and the love of a mother is sometimes unmeasurable. Because when a mother looks at a child, the mother sees the value of the child. The mother remember the date of birth. The mother remember this child was not like that. Because the mother value this child. The mother places a different value of the child, even though the child is in jail. You will not visit that child because it's not your child, because you don't value through the same lenses. But that mother values differently. She sacrificed the pain of a child being in jail, but she will go because she loves this child. A mother will do a lot for a child. There's a verse in the Bible in Isaiah 49:15 that says, "Can a woman forget a nursing child, that she should have no compassion on the son of her womb? Even these may be forget, yet I will not forget you." It's a promise from God also. God said it is possible that a mother will not remember her child. It is possible that a mother can even kill her child. But the Lord said, mostly I know mothers will not do that. And the Lord said, even so, I am like that. I will never forget. Oh, I'm here with good news here this morning. It doesn't matter what you're going through. The love of God remains the same. Yesterday, today, and forevermore. The Lord will not forget. What you value, you sacrifice. Wow. What you value, you sacrifice. I don't know if you remember the story of this dead baby in the Bible in 1 Kings 3:16 and 28. It is Solomon, David's son. He was now king. But the Bible said there was no one as wise as Solomon. The man had not just wisdom, he had riches as well. So one day, these prostitutes, both of them have children in the same age. And they were living in the same house. And the one row, that's what the Bible is saying. I'm not belittling anyone. The Bible called them prostitutes. And then the one row on the baby, and the baby died. And the mother with the dead baby claimed that the baby that's alive is her baby. So what she did, she took this dead baby during the course of the night and swapped the babies. And she received the healthy baby and laid the healthy baby next to her. And by the morning, the mother, you tell me a mother don't know their children. The mother looked at the dead baby with sadness. And the mother said, "This is not my child." And she walked over to the other lady in the same room, or not, irrelevant. But she said, "That's my baby." And it's this struggle around whose baby it is. And they eventually end up in the presence of the king. Now Solomon looked at the situation. Here's the baby, the healthy one. And the mother stands with a dead baby in her hands, and the other one with a healthy baby in her hands. And the king said, "Whose baby is this?" The healthy mother said, the healthy owner, original mom said, "That's my baby." The mother with the dead baby said, "No, this is her. This is not my baby. That's her baby." And it's this struggle around whose baby it is. Then Solomon did in his wisdom something very, very important. He asked for a sword. He said, "Lay the healthy baby on the table." And he asked for a sword. He said, "Right, I'm going to cut this baby in half. And you get half of it. And you get half of it." But the mother of the original baby said to the other woman, to Solomon, let her have the baby. I'm prepared to sacrifice for love. I don't care, let her raise the baby, but I value that child so much, I will not cut her in half or him in half. I value that baby to that extent. Well, you are successful in the areas of your sacrifice. So a businessman will never be successful if you don't love your business, and if you don't value your business, and if you don't sacrifice for your business. Well, I don't know if you realize that sometimes relationships are not cheap. And I don't know if somebody would love to agree with me. I'm Generation X, and we have millennials and Zs, and also alphas in the house here this morning. And here and there we have like Mr. Bassett and them that's like my father's age. They are baby boomers. Now, if you consider that how important it is, the older you get, I don't know if you want to agree with me. If you're still a millennial, you will not understand this well. But the older you get, the lesser or the less friends you have. Because I don't know what does it have to do with age. The older you get, it's almost as if the Lord sifts them out. And only the real ones remain. Because everyone is in your life for different reasons. Okay, let me give you a typical example. The person marry you for your cash. When your cash is gone, then the marriage is gone. The person married you for your body. If your 16 valve is gone, the relationship is gone. Do you hear what I'm saying? The person married you because you live in Houghton. Now you have a dip in your business. You live now somewhere else. It's not like in an up area according to the person you've married. And then the person who's looking now for another to marry because the reasons change from one to the other. But what I want to bring across is like relationships it's expensive. Because if I want to keep my relationship with my friend, I need to phone him every day or once a week. So the call costs you. Is there agreement on that? So anything that you love is going to cost. So it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to pay a price. For your marriage, you're going to pay a price. You need to drop at times certain things and do what your lover wants to do. I hate shopping. I go to the mall to run with the grandchildren in the mall. But I cannot stand in front of a rail and look at the same thing over and over and over again. I cannot go in a shoe store and look at all these shoes and then, God's sake, heaven's sake, and everyone's sake, everything in me is crying, help, Lord, help. But my wife loves it. So I tiptoe behind her. She goes like, then what I do is say, baby, I'm right here. If you need me, I'm right here. I'll even go to the fitting room with you. And I'm right here. So come out, I'll tell you if I like it, if you like it or so. But the fact remains, it's what she loves. But I need to sacrifice going with her because I value her so much that I'm prepared to sacrifice and sit through this hardship of looking at shoes and clothes and all these things. And she, just like God, there was one day we went to the mall as if I was going to work all day. I said, Lord, what type of punishment is this? I'm just saying. But then on the other hand, when I play golf, I expect of her that at least a good round is 5 hours. That when I come home, that you will not be upset because I was 5 hours on the golf course. Because his relationship comes with a sacrifice. He loves golf and you love shopping. Oh, you can sit there for 5 hours and wait for me because I sit there and watch you dressing for 5 hours. You know, if you can't find something in this mall, then we have to go to another mall. God knows I'm using my petrol now to another mall. Then I have to pay again, 10 rand, 20 rand, get your ticket and go sit again. Just to find out that she doesn't love this year, you have to go to another mall. It's like, God, in one evening, really? Who knows what I'm talking about? Yeah. Isn't it true? But we do that because we love them. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. We do it because we tiptoe. Remember, you used to love it. You know what? When you're in courtship, there's certain things that you must tell her early before you marry. I'm doing this for you because I hate it. Do you know there's some marriages later, the lady said, I didn't know you don't like it. Now, 20 years later, you're only telling me, yes. I know it's 20 years later, but I hated it on the first day already. Some will catch it another day. But you know what I'm preaching here? So I'm saying, let me get back here, how you are successful in the area of your sacrifice. I asked Dr. Mary Adam to come and assist and help me here. And then she invited a friend as well. So both of you, I would love you to take your position in front of the table here, because we would love to just give you a quick things, a lecture about the three things: love, sacrifice, and value. Edmund, just come here quickly, and then I just want to press a point here. Now, everybody in this place, it's just that I have a loose jacket on. I look by far better than him. It's just my jacket that is a little big jacket on this morning. But if you look at him, it's clear that he's working out, right? Sometimes some girls love to tone themselves as well. There's a little muscle, just enough. It's just enough. Not to take the... if there's such a word as ladyship away. Right. So, is it possible that you can build a healthy body to get it to this position? Or rather question, is there other ways that you can get here quicker? And what's the bad in that if you get quicker to this body, or the quickest way to this body?
Thanks, Rev. The quickest way to get into shape would definitely be the use of steroids. What steroids does, you will build muscle much faster, but you will lose it as quick as you build it. And the challenging thing about using steroids, it affects your kidneys and your liver in the long run. So you look good in your youth and suffer when you're a bit old.
The reason why I asked him to come up and explain that line to me is simply because you definitely value your body, and you definitely have love towards your body. But people are not prepared to sacrifice to get the body for where it's supposed to be. They cut corners, and the sacrifice is out of the sentence. And therefore you pay the price when you're old. So when you see people successful, it comes with a sacrifice. Put your hands together for Edmund. Thank you so much. So I have these two wonderful ladies here. You will introduce your friend here, of course. But I've got two wonderful ladies here. And the reason why I asked them to come here is to show that these three things are also relevant for food. Yes. When you love your body, you will put the right food in it. Yes, absolutely. You will also sacrifice to keep your body healthy. Yes, sir. And you need to value what you eat. Yes. So at this point in time, put your hands together for Dr. Mary Adam. Thank you so much.
Good morning, congregation. So today I have with me a valued and a dear friend of mine, but we're also colleagues. She's very much passionate about what she does. Her name is Miriam Sekele. She's a dietitian, and she's been working as a dietitian for 10 years at Baragwanath Hospital. So whenever I'm busy with a patient that I feel that needs the extra support, so she's part of our allied team. So when I feel that the patient needs extra support, we bring the dietitian to boost them from a food perspective. So she comes with the supplements, a dietary plan that would be able to support what we're doing as the physicians to get the patient to a healthier state, not quickly, but adequately in time. Thank you so much, Miriam, for joining us. So what we're doing today is we're looking at different foods that are healthy for your body and which foods are not healthy for your body, because if you value your body, you will eat things that you love. You have to sacrifice all the junk foods to eat the healthy foods to live longer and to live a healthy life. So the foods that I have on the table, let's start with the unhealthy foods so that we can junk them quickly. Is that okay, Miriam? Yes. So we can junk them early. Can I have an amen? Amen. Okay, so Miriam, tell us about fried chips, burgers, and I nearly said water that's full of sugar, but soft fizzy drinks.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, congregation. Of course, junk food is for convenient, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So as Christians, we need to be committed. Yes. Convenient is not our way, but commitment, okay? As in the Word of God, if you could still remember when Daniel, in the book of Daniel, when was saying, give us vegetables and water and watch us for 10 days. I know that you know the scripture, Daniel 1 verse 12. They did not want anything fancy or whatever, mahinya in Sipedi, but they just wanted something healthy. And after 10 days, they were awesome. They were looking awesome. So if we were to look at the junk food, convenient, yes, we are living in the days of technology, quick, everything is quick, but at an expense of our health. At the end of the day, we are the ones who are going to suffer. So let's not fool ourselves. Junk food is there, but we need to be prepared to make home-cooked food. Mm-hmm. We mustn't be lazy just for convenient. In terms of junk food, when you look, the fries, they deep fry them. There is burger, so many things inside the burger. Meat, processed cheese, and some little bit of vegetables. But we are not saying we cannot eat junk food. It should not be an everyday lifestyle, but we should still be knowing that we should eat healthy. In terms of junk food, it is too much of unsaturated fat. They are deep frying it, so we should learn to invest in good fats. We will talk about that. I don't see any fat. From the fat from the sunflower oil, the olive oil, the canola oil, and the avo oil. Mm-hmm. That is the fat that you should be eating. Anything plant, but the method of cooking also is also worrisome because deep frying, quick. You understand? So there's different variety of cooking methods that we should use at home. It's not like when we say be on a healthy diet, we say boil every day. You can steam, you can oven bake, variety of cooking method that one can still use at home.
So for example, with potatoes are not a problem. So, but potatoes boiled are better than potatoes fried, because then potatoes that are fried can cause the release of carcinogenic, meaning that it can release products that can cause cancers in the body. True or false?
100%, you are right. We are not saying you cannot continue enjoying a potato. You can boil your potato, you can oven bake your potato, you marinate them the way you want them. But continuous use of deep frying, the cooking method, just like she said, the carcinogenic, in the long run you are going to have those chemicals that end up causing us to have sicknesses.
Not to take too long, in terms of fruits and salads, how are these better than taking your tablet form or syrup forms of vitamins?
This is nature. This is what God has actually created for us. Just like Daniel was saying, give us vegetables and water and watch us for 10 days. So let's not fool ourselves. The fruits are there for a purpose. The vegetables are there for a purpose. When we have a patient in hospital, we say, bring fruits as family, bring vegetables as family, is because we want the recovery of that patient to be quickened. So that if you bring junk food like this, the patient will not recover very quick. So fruits and vegetables, they are rich in vitamins and minerals. They have too much fiber, they have roughage to keep us full for a long time. If you eat an orange, it's not the same as you drink orange juice. Mm-hmm. Let's not fool ourselves.
So just on that point, with regards, that's why I've actually put this orange juice, because this is full of vitamin C, natural form of vitamin C. But when you take this, we're not saying that it doesn't have vitamin C, but the most that is in here is sugar water. Sugar water. It's sugar water. So you want to make sure that you rather top up on your natural vitamin C's than you do on your. So we're not again saying that you're not allowed to, but what we're saying is that rather limit this and then substitute it with water. So you can have a sip of your orange juice, yes, but rather go for your waters. If you want to have orange juice, then you can rather squeeze these, freshly made. This is better than your 100% juices. Because in essence, when you drink it, think of us, sugar water. Okay, the same again, even for our diabetics. Some you'll say, no, I can just add water. No, you're still not, then you're diluting both the vitamin C and just making it more water. Okay, the same, and you can see here as well, because I don't want to take too much time, is that this is Coke, okay, or Coke, I don't want to use name brands, but this is Coke, okay? And so what happens, even if you're a diabetic or somebody who's recovering or somebody who wants to lose weight, even if you drink half a glass, you're still putting sugar into your body. And even by diluting it, all you're doing is just adding more water, but you're still having Coke. Okay, so don't do that. Rather substitute with water, okay? And your fruit. The benefits of actually salad, my father always used to say, we have to have salads with our meat, so we call it salad, because we partly mixed in our family. So we used to have salads, and my mom would add carrots and apples, and I thought it's just because we're poor, but my parents had a wealth of knowledge, because by adding that, actually they educated us that by adding your fruits and vegetables, you adding all your vitamins, you adding your fiber, you adding more to your salad. This helps with making you feel full during your meals, so you can eat it as much as you want during the day. But it makes you full, helps you to sleep, and it helps you to absorb all the natural supplements and vitamins that you are taking from the natural source. One thing also that I just wanted to highlight is that coffee is often regarded as a negative thing to drink. It's only negative when you've added too much sugar. Even 1 teaspoon of sugar can be seen as a negative. So the best thing to do is to have black coffee with either full cream or with a full milk. I know now we talk about skim milks and stuff. No, you still need to get your calcium and your full milk, so you can do that.
Thank you so much. Put your hands together. Just because of time, I'm just going to hold you here. And then another time. But thank you so much for coming. Is it Miriam? Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate that. And may God bless you. We will be on the lookout for you at Bara. The one thing that I want you to do, you must check when men is at Bara. The family bring a nip. Thank you. Put your hands together. The family don't know. They think you're doing them a favor. As a matter of fact, you're killing them. Are we ready to roll? How do you value? Where there is no sacrifice, there is no value. Value is determined by what you sacrifice. Now, let me give you a typical example. I will be out here, and give me another 7 minutes, and I will conclude this sermon. So Hebrews 6:10 says, God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown him as you have helped his people and continue to help them. But let me just reverse quickly. How do you value? And where there is no sacrifice, there is no value. So, for instance, if you take money out and somebody in your family say, okay, I've got a cell phone X, this new iPhone X, and I paid 16,000 on contract for it, but I would love to sell it to you for 7,000 rand. What you should do is you need to look at, is it worth it to sacrifice 7,000 rand for something that will just go out of fashion next week because there's now a longer cell phone out, better than the one that I have in any case. Now, what I'm trying to say, at the end of the day, for the value of exchange is important. This is how you value it. You see what you earn per month. and you look at what the cost is for whatever you buy, the question is, are you prepared to sacrifice a week's pay for a cell phone, or maybe 2 months' pay for a cell phone that you're still paying off, and after 2 years when you're done with the cell phone, in any case it will be redundant by that time. What I'm saying in essence is this: your sacrifice towards what you value is important. Even sometimes, as much as you love the latest gadget, you need to value the sacrifice towards what you will pray towards it and to what you love. You need to line the three up constantly. So meaning, how do I value? See what you value. You place a value on something. Yes, I place a value on this old 1979 Toyota Corolla, not because I need a car now. So I can take 5 years to restore this car to its original state. It's not my means of transport. But what I'm saying in essence, some people value certain things that's valueless. What I mean by that is they put their money like in junk food, and that junk food gives them extra rolls, meaning they have to go now to the gym. Oh, cool. I'm not promoting gyms here, because myself, I'm not going to gym. But since December, I don't know why Hendricks family love bread so much, but they call bread the Hendricks cake. Some people in your family is also Hendricks cake. You can eat bread with jam, bread with butter, bread with marmite, bread with anything. You just name it, bread is there. So bread over December for me was the thing. In the morning, fresh bread, afternoon, fresh bread. And by the time of January the 1st, I look like bread. But then I decided, no, January 1st, I said to my wife, I'm not going to have a slice of bread. I will get to a restaurant. The first thing that they drop in front of you, doesn't matter if it's a fish restaurant, they give you bread. So they actually say, eat and be happy. But what I'm saying in essence is, am I prepared to sacrifice the bread? There's nothing wrong with it, but am I prepared to sacrifice it? I'm not preaching a health sermon here. What I'm trying to get to here is to show you in Hebrews 6:10, God is not unjust. He will not forget your work. You can replace that word work with sacrifice. So he's not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown him as you have helped his people and continue to help them. What I'm saying in essence here, God notices when you do something for him. Because you are here because of a sacrifice. You woke up this morning, you could have stayed in bed. You could have ordered a newspaper or read it on E-line. You could have done all those things and stay in bed, but you had to get out of bed because it's Sunday. And most people don't move around on Sunday. It's a laid-back day. But the sacrifice here this morning causes a value, because you value the house of God. You value spirituality. And when you sacrifice and when you value, it shows the love that you have for God. You cannot remove not one word out of that sentence. The reason why people are low in December, they can't sacrifice a Sunday. The reason why marriages are in trouble, they can't sacrifice a conference. But they sacrifice. Do you know you place value on what you love? There's people here, last night, they were up till 1 o'clock, shaking it. They're not in church. But because they don't value church. And if you don't value something, you will not sacrifice. And if you can't value and you don't sacrifice, it means you don't love. It means if we hand something out here and we give it a bar or pie chart form and we say, value where God is in your relationship. There's only 52 weeks in a year. Some of you come once a month, which means you only come to church 12 times. And when you have problems with your marriage and your children, then we need to fix it in one Sunday with anointing oil and prayer. Because you don't sacrifice getting out of bed. You don't sacrifice putting your phone down and worship this true and living God. It's too much. You can't divorce yourself from your cell phone for 10 minutes because it's too much. Even some of you, 30% come to church, you scroll and do all the things on your cell phone because you don't value the word of God. The Bible says we must not just be hearers of the word, but be doers of it. I'm preaching here a sermon showing you that God is not unjust. Sometimes, or someone that is unjust is unjust, is a person that's not fair. So what the verse is saying here, they want to make it deep or even built in theological stuff in there. All the scripture is saying when God say, give me the verse there, I'm not unfair, I'm not unjust. You see, when you say God is not unjust, so which means He is willing not to forget your sacrifice and the love you have shown Him as you have helped Him and His people, and continue to do that. I'm saying here, when you are ushered, God is not looking the other way. When you're in a choir, God is not looking in the other way. When you're in a life group, God is not looking in the other way. When you're in any career of leadership within this ministry and you volunteer, God is not looking in the other way. When you stand in the connections, wherever you stand, whatever you do, God is not unjust. God is just. Meaning at the right time, your sacrifice will pay off. Meaning at the right time, if you sacrifice this and you have this, this maybe tastes like cardboard now, but later when you're 60 and when you're 70, the cardboard pays off. I'm saying you sacrifice. On a Wednesday for prayer meeting, you sacrifice. Now, I'm saying, I want to say something here. If you're not in a choir and you can sing, it means you don't love singing enough to sacrifice, because it's too much to come during the week to practice for Sunday morning. Because you're not prepared to sacrifice for what you love. God is not unjust. He will watch you. So you were not selfish with other needs and you complained little. So let's be honest. A church is not heaven. There's people in the church, and people will hurt you in the church. But if you stuck at the hurt of what Sister So and Brother So and James So did to you, and you drop your first love for the calling that you have, it shows that you are more concerned about what people say about you than what God has to say about your sacrifice. And He say, I will not leave you. I will not forsake you. I will come around. I will watch and see. I'm not unjust for what you do. I'm going to bless you. You might not see it today, but boy, oh boy, soon, and very soon, you're going to see a turn in your finances because of your sacrifice. Soon, you're going to see a turn with your children because of your sacrifice. Soon, you're going to see a turn at your company. Don't you see that when you work longer hours at your company, there's a payoff there? But what you don't see is you don't work longer hours in the house of the Lord, but then your marriage go in pain because you don't balance the sacrifices enough to add value for where it's needed. So what I'm saying here, in the essence here this morning, it is important not to remove not one single thing from the sentence. It's love, it's sacrifice, and it's what? Value. I know that some of you have lack, but you still give. And there's some that have abundance, but they will never give. They've got tons of money in the bank because God is not the priority. They'll pay expensive holidays and drive expensive cars, but they will not tithe, not a 10 rand. Because God is not a priority. They don't value their giving enough to honor God in sacrifice. Does that make sense? I need you to run. Back to the text. God is not unjust. He will not forget your sacrifice and the love that you show towards people. God sees the sacrifice of your lips. You see, the writer Paul is saying that through Jesus, therefore, let us, listen to this, continually offer to God a sacrifice of praise. Because God knows that you will be down sometimes when you come to church. So even though you're down, and even if you in the car didn't speak to or had a conversation with your wife and you're upset since last night, at least lift your hands in the house of God and give Him a sacrifice of your lips and say, I'm not perfect, but I want to say thank you. Thank you for grace. Thank you for that car in the car park. Thank you for this healthy body. Thank you for my children. Thank you for my wife. Thank you for my job. I just want to say thank you. I gave you a sacrifice of praise. God sees the sacrifice of your life. Paul writes, therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, because of all that Jesus has done for us through his sacrifice of himself on the cross, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice. Remember last week I preached about the dam. Marriage is like a dam. It keeps you away from fornication and adultery. So isn't it interesting that we were traveling on the freeway on Sunday, on Friday night, because we went to go watch something in theater, and the freeways are organized. There's a big barrier in the center with 4 lines. And you must stay in your line or your lane, because it keeps you alive. That's what the power of marriage is. It keeps you healthy and in your lane. Because otherwise, a lot of people don't sacrifice to stay in marriage. And that's the reason why they will not sign on for the next marriage in sacrifice. Because to them is no commitment. I love you till your money is out. I love you till you have a fridge. I love you till you lose your body build. Will you still love me when I'm 89? And there's no but. I don't know who will arrive there first, me or my wife. But as it looks like me. Because my wife is in the gym every day. And I'm now watching what I eat. But I'm saying, if you can't love him while he have a healthy body, or her while she have a healthy body, I cannot promise your marriage to last when the body deteriorates. It must be sacrifice. What are you saying? To be a leader, you must. If you are called by God and you're a leader, you must sacrifice. Coming to church, you must sacrifice. It's your reasonable service. Let me continue. God sees the sacrifice of your generous giving. Didn't you think Bongi did a good job on Tithe Talk this morning? We can give him a beautiful hand. But you know what? Even if you don't have, do what's right. Sacrifice. Because the Lord will not turn a blind eye. He's just. I need to rush in, and because of time, I need to get to the very last of my sermon and on the celebration on how many people are willing to sacrifice for love. Remember, the buyer determines the value. Remember the mother whose child is in jail. You might not value their child, but the mother values. The buyer determines the value. When you look at the painting, there's some paintings that's 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, 50 million. I look at that painting and I say, just give me the money and take the painting. Because I don't value that painting, because I don't have an idea what that painting is all about. But the person who seeks for that painting will pay the price attached to it. I'm saying, bring value back to your families. Put a high price on your family. Put a high price on your wife. Put a high price on your husband. Put a high price on your children. Because sacrifice will be easy. And when you value them, love will just flow. I hate it when parents say to their children, I work 7 jobs to get you here. You're supposed to do it as a parent, and you're not doing you or your child a favor. You're supposed to do it. It's your responsibility. Now, most probably tongue in cheek, if you wanted to make a baby, I'm saying, I don't get it. Why would you love to sleep with somebody and abort the baby? Didn't you know that you're going to have a baby? I'm so surprised. Well, I'm standing here, and if I'm an ambassador for the government, at least get a cheap condom. Because at least when you make babies all over, at least you will look after them. At least when you marry, understand that marriage goes with sacrifice. Go home. No. You cannot go club with the chomis and the friends. Let me spell it out. You're not single anymore. There's lines. There's perimeters. You need to do things that married people do. You wanted to be married? I'm going to give you a joke here, but it's a joke that I need to interpret it because it was my grandma. I remember very well. She said to my Uncle Monty, Uncle Barney. So Uncle Barney, it was the time of Percy Sledge. I remember he was playing a Percy Sledge album, and we lived in Makweteng, and I was sleeping in bed, and he was kind of happy, and he used to have an Elvis Presley hairstyle, and he would flip it and put some jam and butter on it, and he would go, and he was like happy because he's going to get married. I remember the words of my grandmother. She looked at him and she said, I will interpret that. You must help me now, Lester, to get me the English line. Gevrek wil trou. How can I do that in English? Oh, lazy wants to get married. Oh, lazy. Because oh, lazy don't know that this is not. Shut up! It's more than that. Sacrifice. It's breaking winds when the child have a wind. If there's a fever, you lay your hands and you anoint the child. That's a sacrifice. Toto, school fees, clothes. You hear they say boys are cheaper than girls or girls are cheaper than boys. You wanted to sleep. Toto. Yeah, we'll take you to court. There's some guys you must go to court. The girls want their money. You want sex, but you don't want the responsibility. And also I must address the love of vrouwens ook. These women that just go and sleep. Didn't you know that you're going to get a baby? Now you want to take it. You knew all the way he's not working. You know it. My love. Shh. I almost said voortzek. Shh. Before you sleep, baby, think. Is this man working? Think. Is he 18, 19, or 20? He says, think. There's a sacrifice coming with this thing. Are you prepared to be up at night when you're 16? Or you're going to drop the baby at grandmother's house? Are you ready for this? Think, because love comes with value and with sacrifice. Aye, man, put your hands together for God. Is there any agreement in this house? Well, I can bring it here before you order all this, unless you want some fat around the waistline. If you want all this, think. Do you have money for gym and heart attack and cholesterol? Think. If you even have insurance, or even if you have anything happen. If you overtake on a freeway and there's cars coming, think, will my baby be raised without a dad? Think before you do something. You're not smart. When you lay the seat backwards and the music is loud and you're already 14, you want to act like a young man and push your arm out, boom, 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 with the seed laying there. Think you've got children. Think. Because love comes with sacrifice. And you need to value at home. There's kids that I need to raise. I cannot be irresponsible. I need to be a responsible man. I need to be a responsible woman. I need to do things right. Is there any witness here in the house? The buyer determines the value. I'm closing by saying, don't regret sacrifices. Don't tithe and let anyone tell you you were not supposed to. Tell them that was my reasonable service. And even though in this church, do you know how many people gracefully, by the hand of God, I guided people in their giftings and in their talents. But they're not here today, not because I want them here. But you know what? I don't regret my sacrifice. Do you know? We pay a price. Standing here on Sundays, we pay a price. People say ugly things about me and my wife and my family, but I don't regret my sacrifice. Come, I tell you why. Because one day, my brother, when I get to that place, the Lord get me the text back again. Get me the text back on that again. Don't regret sacrifice. Let me get the text back on Hebrews again. Go for God. It's not unjust. What I'm saying is, when you do things behind the scenes and people don't appreciate it, don't regret what you did, because God is not unjust. He will come through for you in the name of Jesus.
Trust that you enjoyed today's sermon. If you are in the nearby Johannesburg area, please join us at 7 Walton Street, Johannesburg. God bless you and thank you.